Today at Florida's Capitol, the Senate passing sweeping new protections for law enforcement.
It means threatening an officer during an arrest could carry stiffer penalties, but our Capitol Bureau reporter Cody Butler tells us some think the Officer Jason Raynor Act doesn't honor his legacy.
The Senate approved a bill requiring a life without parole sentence if someone's convicted of manslaughter when the victim is a police officer. Now, given today's national political climate, some lawmakers are worried that this bill will have unintended consequences.
So the bill passes. Please read the next bill.
With the nearly unanimous vote, it's now up to the House to pass the Officer Jason Raynor Act. The 26-year-old Daytona Beach police officer was shot and killed in 2021 during an arrest. His killer was convicted of manslaughter with a 30-year sentence. The bill approved by the Senate would make that sentence life without parole.
This legislation puts a determination of who was at fault during a police interaction where it belongs, fully in the hands of the court.
At the same time, it says one isn't allowed to resist, use force, or even threaten it as long as the officer's acting in good faith.
Those moments when in the heat of battle and you are wrestling for your life to keep your firearm on you or in your holster, that you don't have time to think what's lawful and what's not.
Thursday's vote isn't even a week after a federal immigration officer shot and killed a protester in Minneapolis, the second such shooting this month. Senator LaVon Bracy Davis says the Jason Raynor Act will have unintended consequences across Florida.
Those moments should have reminded us why guardrails matter, and this bill removes them.
The bill sponsor says victims can defend themselves from unlawful arrests in court. The Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers argues this could open the door for bad cops to kill.
Unfortunately, you can't argue that defense in court if that unlawful excessive force kills you and you're dead and no longer can talk about that defense in court.
The House is ready to vote on its version of this bill. Both chambers will have to sort out any differences, if there are any, before it heads to the governor's desk. At the Florida State Capitol, I'm Cody Butler reporting.